Speaking exclusively to News First today, Dr. Chris Nonis, Sri Lanka's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, confirmed that he had been assaulted and that he had submitted his letter of resignation. Dr. Nonis spoke to News First over the phone from London today.
In any case, that I was assaulted and I have submitted my resignation. And I don't really wish to comment further on that.
Dr. Chris Nonis received his higher education in both the UK and the US and holds a first-class honours Bachelor of Science. He has been actively involved in Commonwealth and international affairs and is Deputy Chairman of the Royal Commonwealth Society, London, Board Member of the Rampal Centre for Commonwealth Policy Studies, UK, and Board Member of the Commonwealth Business Council. He heads the Sri Lankan Advisory Board of the British Asian Trust, one of the charities of Prince Charles of the UK. He is the chairman of the 170-year-old Macwoods Group of companies. He commenced his tenure as the Sri Lankan High Commissioner for the UK in September 2011, at a time when Sri Lanka was facing numerous challenges internationally. He rendered a yeoman's service for his motherland and successfully clarified Sri Lanka's position when faced with tough questions from the international media. Members of the government themselves have said that if Dr. Nonis was assaulted, an immediate investigation should be held. However, a government parliamentarian, Professor Rajiva Vijayasinghe, made revelations regarding a concerted effort to remove skilled diplomats in Sri Lanka's foreign service.
Professor Vijayasinghe, in 2012, you penned an article, you made a prediction rather, that there was a conspiracy to chase away reputed diplomats in the Sri Lankan Foreign Service. Do you see that prediction becoming reality today?
Well, I think it's certainly true that there were elements in the Foreign Ministry, principally I think Shanmuga Senaviratne, who was the Additional Secretary at the time, who was determined to destroy our foreign policy. And this makes me very sad, because in 2009, not only did a military victory, won a very substantial victory in Geneva under the leadership of Ganja Tilaka. But he was sacked soon after, and indeed Shanmuga, while in London, had said the year before that she was going to replace Dan in Geneva the following year. Now, after that, Tamara Kundanayakam was sacked in 2012, after she had actually worked very hard to try and improve our situation, as some foreign ambassadors told me. But then she was sacked. And I realized that there was an effort to get rid of our good people and also create disrepute for Sri Lanka. You know, after this recent incident, not only will we probably do the services of Chris Nonis, but the British Foreign Office had contacted him and said, you know, High Commissioner, this is why we told you that your government is not a civilized government. And if nothing is done about this, a lot of the allegations made against perfectly decent people, like our soldiers who fought the war, will be seen as credible. My point is there should be an investigation, and pending an investigation you suspend somebody. But none of that sort happens.
Against such a backdrop, where you say the office of the executive is dysfunctional, the foreign service is dysfunctional, what do the citizenry need to do?
Well, I think the citizens have indicated what they're going to do in Uva. And, you know, to me the problem is I still think Mahinda Rajapaksa is the best president this country could have. But if he doesn't engage in reforms, I think people will start looking for an alternative. So I don't see why the president still clings to, you know, hangovers from other parties, people without genuine political commitment. He has the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. He should work with them. They are moderate.
නොවටිනා දේශපාලකයන් අතින් වටිනා රාජතාන්ත්‍රිකයන්ට සිදුවන මේ අඩන්තේටම ශාරීරිකව සිදු වුණා කියන බව පැහැදිලිව වාර්තා වෙන්නේ මේ අවස්ථාවේදී.
It has now been reported that this assault that valueless politicians are carrying out on valuable diplomats has become physical. It is not Chris Nonis that should go home, but the people who are behind this crisis that should go home. Is there an effort within the country to destroy the foreign service? These are people who work to secure the reputation and respect of our nation. We can remember the brave statements that were made by Chris Nonis to Al Jazeera and the BBC. Chris Nonis represented Sri Lanka directly and carried out an excellent service as a diplomat. It is the retarded, uneducated politicians who cause these crises that should be going home.
අදූරු දර්ශී මන්ද බුද්ධික නූගත් දේශපාලකයන් තමයි ගෙදර යා යුතුයි.
රටක් හැටියට සීලාචාර රටක් හැටියට අපි හැමදෙනාම දන්නවා මේ ගත වෙච්ච කාලය තුල අපට විරුද්ධව
As a nation, as a civilized nation, we are all aware that there have been various allegations against us over the violation of human rights, and our response has always been that these are international conspiracies. Major human rights allegations were levelled at us from England. At that time, Nonis rendered an immense service. What tribute has been paid for the services rendered to protect our image? Dayan Jayatilaka was removed, Rajiva Vijayasinghe was removed, Kurunagam was removed, and now Nonis has been assaulted and removed. This assault has been carried out at the hands of a government MP. Several days lapsed, but there was no admission that a mistake had been made, and neither was there an apology. The government took no steps whatsoever. Are these international conspiracies being hatched abroad or within Sri Lanka?
දැන් මේ ජාත්‍යන්තර කුමන්ත්‍රණය කරන්නේ ජාත්‍යන්තරද ලංකාව ඇතුළේද? අපට හංගන්න හැදුවට ඒක අර මේ කොරවක්කගේ හැංගිල්ල වගේ තමයි. අපි කොරවක්ක හිතන ඔක්කොම නවත් පිටපැසවත් ඔක්කොම පේනවා ලෝකෙටම.